Like, it doesn't even matter. Like,
Do you think that that's because of the kid that kind of helped you reprioritize what's important?
Well, yes and no. Yes, because the way our relationship was headed, we were already gonna break up. So like, how many years in? Like 8, 9 years in, I think.
Maybe.
At that point, we like our relationship was so fucked up that it was like, okay, we either fix it or we just fucking dissolve everything. We leave JK. We fucking get rid of Barbell.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Genius Brain Podcast. This podcast is full of corona in this room right now. We have the source himself, Wuhan Bart.
what are you talking about? I am the source of the vaccine.
This fuckface
Right?
gave 14 people COVID.
Honestly, it was like 7 or 8, I think.
This motherfucker fucked all of us up, and I decided to bring in the source. Everybody was tested before they came in here, so we're all good.
Yeah, we're all good
Cheers
now.
to being negative.
Cheers.
Cheers to being negative. Here
For
we go.
sure, for
Bing,
sure.
Bing, bing, bing. We had the old. So if you guys are not familiar with who Bart and Gio are, because there are a lot of new listeners,
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Bart is the sole owner of this company called Barbell Brigade,
Hey, that's okay.
and his assistant, Gio, right here next to us. No,
I hate you.
So-
I'm leaving. Podcast over.
So Bart, you guys, I mean, if you've seen Joe on this podcast, so Bart and Gio own a very, very successful powerlifting company.
Thank
also
you.
part of JK Films, JK News, and many other adventures such as Junbi Matcha, which we're also a part of.
Yep.
So this is who the fuck they are. He also is the source of COVID. So
The vaccine. I gave Tim the vaccine, Steve the vaccine, David the vaccine, her the vaccine.
I was so pissed at this motherfucker because I'm like, I'm doing everything right. How did this happen? How did this happen?
Well, I don't know where I got it from.
Yeah, it's been pretty nuts because like we weren't doing anything.
I could have, like, I don't know, pumped gas and it was on the gas thing and I picked my
Yeah.
nose and I put it myself. I don't know.
Yeah.
you really would touch your face after you touch a gas pump, though.
I don't know.
Well, the reason why we were also surprised is because we have my mom who's a senior that watches our
She
son,
probably gave it to me.
Taika. She hasn't had it because we
She
all...
probably gave it to me.
Yeah, so we were like completely fucking scared because I'm like, holy shit, this is my mom. So anything prior to that, we were so careful.
Yeah.
Like we would see people and like we would get them tested. And yeah, we just didn't want to give it to my mom. So then when he was like, I feel sick, immediately I'm like, holy shit, we got to get tested. Like immediately.
It's kind of crazy too how fast that stuff spread. Like I definitely am, even though I have like the antibodies now, right? Like I'm even more cautious than I was before.
Why?
Which is crazy. Just because like
How quickly you can get it.
well, it's how fast you can get it too, and also how the information of COVID keeps changing
Absolutely.
because it's evolving now. So I'm like, oh God, like I don't want somebody to go through what I went through because it was so bad. Like, remember we were talking about like
Yeah.
the hip pain and the back pain was the weirdest
That's
part.
the
you
weirdest.
guys got hip and back pain?
Mhm.
Yeah, so I think like when you're confined to a room, you don't realize how
Oh.
much you actually move throughout the day. So even like walking to the bathroom, walking over here, or just doing and being active. So I was just sitting pretty much either on my computer or watching Cobra Kai, and that's it. And then so I would start sleeping, and I would get this crazy hip and back pain, and then it would hurt to the point where it would hurt in the middle of the night when I'm moving
yes.
around, and then it actually affects sleep. And I'm like, what the hell is going on?
There was a few days where I couldn't go to sleep because my back was hurting so bad and my hips were so tight.
God
And then
damn.
you're also, because of the headache that you have, I can't even like stretch it out or like do like shadow boxing or something.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of stuck finding this weird position where I'm comfortable. And when I find a
Ouch.
spot, that's when I knock out. And then if I move, it starts to ache again. My hips were killing me, like pulsing.
Fuck.
Yeah.
How was it for you? Because like for us too, right? So he got it first. When we tested, he had it, and then I tested negative, and then I want to say like a week into it, I had a scratchy throat, but that was about it. And I thought the scratchy throat for me
Could
was
be anything, yeah.
Yeah, it was just like, oh, okay, well the
Could've
flu
been
is still.
blowjobs, too.
I was sucking his
Blowjobs?
dick yesterday.
You know you don't get blowjobs. Stop it.
That's
Stop
true.
it. So like where I
Just
sleep
type
is
it knocking on the door. Why does it sound like a fish is drowning in there? Save the fish.
where I sleep, it's right by the vent. So like I thought the air was hitting me, so that's probably why I had a scratchy throat. And then I got my hands on some like rapid tests. So then I tested and then I became positive too.
That's the only side effect that you had?
Yeah, just a scratchy throat. That was it. It was
You're
wild.
so lucky.
I'm Mexican, you know.
That was also crazy though, because when I was in quarantine, I was in my room and I didn't see her. And so she would bring food up to my table
with gloves, a
yeah,
fucking mask.
knock on the door, and then when she clears the hallway, that's when I would open it. And then eventually she gave me my own like dishwashing detergent. So after I ate my food, I'd wash it in the sink before I even returned it to her.
Yeah.
So we had a really clean protocol, and somehow you still caught it.
Yeah.
Probably just the your symptoms maybe just came late. Maybe you had it, but it just came late.
Absolutely. I
yeah.
think that's what it was.
Because mine came pretty late too. It was like 8 days after.
Yeah.
So it was
right.
super late.
Yeah.
Because I tested negative 3 times after you told me that.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, after the third day they say test negative. I did 4, 5 after that, and it was still negative.
Yeah.
And then I felt a little funky, and I'm like,
Uh-oh.
So I canceled all my shit. I was like, I'm not seeing any houses, no house tours for renting or whatever. And I stayed home. And then when you stopped by to get the test is when I took it. And then I was like,
Uh-oh.
I think I got COVID for sure. And when I went to the hotel, I ordered a fat burger, double patty, everything. I was like, hey, I'm in this hotel by myself. Guess what? Your boy's going to fucking eat whatever the fuck he
This is like
wants.
your version of masturbation. I like it.
And I was going to jack off too as I eat the burger.
Hell yeah.
So I was like, you know, I was going to do
He's gonna
everything.
put a hole through the burger.
And then just and then break it in half and eat it after.
No, you idiot. I was saying that your version of masturbation is food. I don't want to hear about you masturbating.
So I'm just jacking off all the time,
Oh,
right?
God.
And then I eat the wing. It tastes a little bland. I'm like, fat burger sucks. I eat the second wing and I'm like, I don't taste it at all.
Oh, fuck. It just
Oh,
started disappearing
shit.
one bite at a
The
time.
first night I had food, it just disappeared at the moment. I tasted it right when it went away. So I ate one wing. It was like kind of bland. Second wing, completely gone. And I'm like,
damn.
it was my worst nightmare. I'm like, I just got jacking off now. That's it. And that's whack. So I was like, okay, what the fuck?
You should try to taste jizz to see if you could taste
I was
it.
like, no.
I know. That should have been the time to try it.
No, I did the hot chip challenge thing.
Oh, it
that's
didn't work.
crazy.
I couldn't taste shit. I could feel the pain on my lips, but I couldn't taste anything.
That's
Wow.
Yeah.
wild.
My asshole tasted it though. That shit was fucking burning like a motherfucker. But I literally couldn't taste anything. Up for 2 weeks, it was no taste. Around week 3, I could kind of taste. So actually, that's a lie. Day 7, I had a little whiff of something, and I actually cried a little bit. I teared up.
Shut the fuck up. That's how important taste
Yes,
is for you?
I told you that I would literally give up sex for the rest of my life if I could still keep my taste.
What?
100%.
I think I might be on that boat too.
My
What?
man, what's up right here?
Well,
210-pound
it's-
Bart. No, what's
Okay,
up?
wait. Let's all close our eyes.
Okay.
Let's think about how bomb my pussy is. All right, David, are you with me? David. God damn it. Okay, now think of that. The best sex we've ever had. And you know it's just fucking bomb.
It
You
was
know
when
the,
she was quiet and she had her mouth shut.
That's what I was picturing.
You know what? You fucking suck. You're never on my fucking side. Let's see if you get it anytime soon.
Yeah, but see, fine, imagine this, all right? Here we go. Imagine like the best sex that you've ever had with any woman that's not her.
No, just me.
And then, right? So you have that, right? But then also imagine never having that again. Now imagine the best meal that you've ever had in your fucking life and you never get to have that again. Which one would you rather?
Oh, that's tough.
You got to go home with me.
Shh, let the man speak, all right?
My wife.
All right? Now close your ears. Now tell me the truth.
Okay, go. Tell him the truth.
The pasta.
No, okay. Jokes aside, because obviously I'm fucking around. But really, what would your answer be? Sex or?
Oh, that's really tough. I don't know. That's like almost saying like go to jail, right? Because you can't have sex in jail.
Oh, they
with a
have
pussy,
sex in jail, baby.
with a pussy.
Oh, okay.
That's so tough.
Hey,
I don't
is
know.
it
Yeah.
Back pussy. Is that what that shit is?
Yeah. That shit's crazy. I don't know. It's tough.
You have to answer though.
Oh, I have to?
Of course. What the fuck?
Fuck.
Like you find it's like either
Why do you have to be here?
It's like you can
Then your
imagine
answer's
all
there.
those good ass foods that you've had, it's all gone now. And then but you get to have amazing sex. Or whatever she offers.
Oh, I think it would have to be the food. It's got to be the food. Food you can eat multiple times a day. You have bomb
I get
breakfast.
it. No, I get
bomb
it.
lunch.
I get it. This
You
pussy
know
ain't gonna
those
be
honey
tight
mustard
forever. I get
pretzels,
it.
The
I get it.
Snyders.
You would even give me away for that?
I love Snyders.
Damn, Snyders, bro.
Have you seen what he's talking about?
Yes.
That's like my favorite road trip snack.
That's like trash, baby. And
No.
you just
Dude,
gave me
that's-
up for trash.
Dude, this pussy is not worth Snyders, dude. The level is so fucking low. Hey, step your game up, dude. Do some kegels or something. I don't know.
I do. All of that shit. I do all of that. Whatever he wants, I do
just
it.
love, because for you, taste is whatever to you, right?
That's tight. I'm so
Taste
happy.
is important to me.
Yeah, thanks for fucking splitting up our marriage, bro.
Oh, please. You already know he's going to choose food. My man knows the difference between
Look at
regular
this.
Coke and McDonald's Coke.
Yep, look at this.
No,
I'm
I
always
knew that.
surprised how much he can eat.
Why?
Well, because even if people who are really buff, like I see them eat, but he eats an absorbent amount of food. Like it's actually kind of ridiculous how much you can eat. You actually can eat more than me,
I think so.
but I look like shit. So I don't understand.
You can say that for the people in the back.
You be quiet here, all right? He clearly doesn't enjoy the pussy. So
You see what you gave him? You gave him ammo.
What ammo? Ammo for what?
I just see this fool just going like, I say, well, who you looking at? Not my wife, that's for sure.
That's exactly
Them
what he
French
said.
fries.
Honey mustard pretzels. Snyders.
The Snyder shit is the biggest insult of all. But when so I found out through this random online article, I was like, I always look up like random food shit. And I was finding out what makes McDonald's taste so good. And it came out. So years ago, he has been saying that McDonald's Coke smacks way better than everybody else's shit. And in our minds, we're like, dog, it's just regular fucking Coke.
Yeah, you tripping.
And he doesn't know shit about food. However, this article specifically denoted that McDonald's has a specific formula for their Coke syrup that's a little more sugary than everybody else's stuff. And he knew the difference between regular Coke and McDonald's Coke.
And he even knew the ketchup is specific to McDonald's.
Since day one, because I get Coke extra ice. I can just imagine right now. You hit the button. Clunk, 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 clunk,
You know
clunk,
what the
clunk.
fuck he does too?
Wait, and you see, you get to the almost to the top right, clunk, 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 and then you go like this. And you let the ice settle, so you can do it one more time. Clunk, clunk. Now you get the Coke, and it goes up when you put the thing on, and then you put the McDonald's straw, which is thicker than the other ones and stiffer for that mouthfeel. You put it in, and you sip on it.
This whole
One of the most
He's not fucking
refreshing
around.
things in the world.
now describe
McDonald's Coke.
Now describe
My pussy.
her pussy and how you would make her come. He goes, I stick it in and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it.
That shit's so crazy.
No, one time, so this is how serious he takes his fucking McDonald's. And I was like, I was in disbelief. I'm like, this motherfucker cannot be having a fucking pouty time because
Pouty
yes,
time.
so this is what happened. So sometimes they forget, right? McDonald's fucks up all the time. They forgot to give him the straw.
Oh shit.
Exactly. So then I'm
I'm
like,
sorry, Doug.
yes.
Hold on.
Yes.
That reaction was ridiculous for this story. Oh shit.
Because that's what
the
happened.
mouthfeel, dude.
That's what happened.
Oh, you
he
don't
was
even
having
know.
a fucking heart attack. I'm like, we have a bunch of straws.
shit.
Like, we ordered out all the time, so we have a shit ton of straws
Yeah.
from everywhere.
It ruins the Coke.
Yeah, and he would not fucking drink it. We had to go back to McDonald's to get a fucking straw.
McDonald's straw, the one with the red and the yellow on there.
Did you like read up about it or you just know this?
I just knew it. Like when you put it in the mouth, it has different sizes, and the
He
way
knew
it
it.
comes in, like the syrup, it just tastes way different.
Dog, I will ask this fool like, where's Tyga? He goes, I don't know.
He doesn't know anything.
But you know, the intricacies, that's the crazy thing. Like
Yeah.
I assumed that you would have read something about this.
No,
But
it's-
everything he said is true.
It's wider. The
Well,
straw
he
is
found
wider,
out-
and the material is thicker too.
Yeah, he found out after. He's like, I knew it. I knew I could taste it. And I'm like, that
And then
is
the ketchup?
fucking nuts.
When you take, like, let's say they go, do you want ketchup? You go, no, I'm good. I got ketchup at home. If you use your Heinz ketchup, it's different from the ones in the packets. Way
Dude,
different.
useless, dude. That's the most useless piece of information I've ever heard in my life.
Should've got
We
a
were
job at
talking about this
McDonald's.
earlier where the reason why I literally just texted this fool no context about how right he was about this stuff because I was cracking up. We had this Junbi holiday party where we were taste testing new recipes for Shrimp Daddy. And these are new recipes. When you're in the R&D process, when you make food for these concepts, most likely the first batch that you had is not going to be that great.
Mm-hmm.
And arguably so, it wasn't that good. Me, Joe, we're eating it, we're dissecting it. We're like, yo, it's just not hitting right. It's not that good. And I look at Bart's face. He's eating it like it's fucking bomb as shit.
I was getting seconds.
And I was like, hey. And then you see this moment where Bart looks at us. He goes, oh, yeah, it's not good at all. And he just keeps eating. I'm like, dog, what the fuck are you talking about? But he knows the difference between the thickness of a straw to the mouthfeel of fucking Coke, ketchup. It's nuts.
This fool's a fucking human raccoon. He eats fucking trash,
Hey.
man. Anything a fucking raccoon's down to do, this guy does it and he enjoys it. It's trash.
I don't know if it's a Chinese gene or something, but there's something about like I'm down to, if I eat something nasty, right? I know it's obviously nasty, but I'm still down to complete the food all the way to if it's bomb as fuck. So I don't know. So I think because of that, I'm willing to try nastier shit, and nastier shit isn't as nasty as other people say.
What in the fuck is wrong with you?
I
You're
don't
kind of
know.
like Mariel. Like I've seen Mariel eat like spoiled food multiple times.
What the fuck?
So
I've never done
What
that.
the
So
fuck?
Mariel,
spoiled
Yes, you
milk?
have. I have a story.
What?
okay. He's like, what? That's disgusting. And you're over here. What the fuck are you?
I'll
talking
tell you
about,
what
guy?
the fuck he fed me.
Fine,
Okay.
I'll choose your pussy over Snyders.
No, too late.
Fine.
It's too late.
So Mariel, she has this like that immigrant mentality too, like specifically that she's gotten from her grandmother. So her grandmother, nobody really goes by the expiration date. You usually go by smell. Right?
Yeah.
Like, oh,
I
is this
only
really-
go by the expiration date.
Okay, well, excuse
It's
me.
2 weeks too early.
Yeah, so like there's sometimes like Mariel would like I would open up something in the fridge that's in Tupperware. I'll pop it open and I'll smell it. I'm like, yo, this has gone bad. And then Mariel's like in the back, she goes, I ate that for breakfast.
Oh shit.
And I'm like,
Shit.
did you smell it? She goes, it tasted
Oh
fine to
my
me.
God.
I'm like, bro, there's mold on this.
Oh my God.
Did you grow up eating moldy bread, or do you cut the mold off, or do you throw the
Well,
whole
I
loaf away?
originally did, but then
Jesus.
I looked up, or a science teacher told me that that's not how mold spores work. Once it's on there, it spreads everywhere. So you're eating the spores
Oh,
no matter what part of the
shit.
bread it's on. So I stopped doing
No,
that.
I grew up just like cutting the mold off of it. So now I know.
Okay, so my story now. So this motherfucker, we had ham. Okay,
Snyders, I mean, pussy, your pussy, I said.
People are just gonna start calling you Snyders from now on.
it's okay.
Got
They'll
that
never taste
Snyders
it.
pussy.
What was I gonna say? Okay, so because he's the better cook between the two, and he always has creative ideas, I let him take it away. And one time there was this ham, and he ended up cooking it. Right? You know what I'm talking about?
I'm not gonna say.
You're trash. Okay, so he cooks it.
Mhm.
He gives it to me, and then I eat it, and I'm like, cool. This was great. Thank you so much for cooking. The next day, I was looking at that ham, and it had a bunch of like little bumps on it because there was
Bumps
still some
all
left.
over.
Yeah, and I'm like, wait, is this the ham we ate yesterday? He's like, yeah. I'm like, this is bad.
Oh, it's pork belly. The pork belly had bumps all over it.
Yeah, and then I'm like, this is bad. We shouldn't be eating this. This is bad. He goes, no, it's all right. I washed it all off. I'm like, what the fuck? I can't.
Did you have diarrhea?
No, I didn't.
Did you throw up?
No, I didn't.
Exactly.
But you fucking habitual line stepper. Who made that up? Who made that up here? I
David.
feel like somebody did.
Did
You
you?
did.
Do
This
you care about
motherfucker-
your family?
No, he saw fucking bumps
My man
roaming.
said, "Oh," and he goes,
And he scrubbed it off.
No, I saw the pork
I don't
belly,
trust
right?
him.
So I did the first step. I go, oh, it's not bad.
Okay, and we know his nose is broken, by the
That's
way.
true. And I rinsed it, and I was
Okay.
able to scrub the bumps off.
Fuck, God.
And I'm like, all right, time to.
Why would a meat be normal to consume if it had bumps on it?
You go ask the meat. I don't know.
That's fucking funny, dude.
I don't trust him.
There was
cooking.
no mold on it,
There's fucking bumps,
and
which
it
is a
didn't
version
look
of.
too discolored.
Protein smells when it goes. It immediately smells sour.
I know, I bet it
didn't-
was
didn't-
slimy.
It didn't smell sour.
But you have a broken nose.
That's true. I can tell.
Oh, God. How many times have you eaten rotten food?
I don't know anymore.
No wonder you're so strong.
I know, right?
No wonder Corona only
COVID
gave you a
didn't do
slight
shit.
headache. It's like, I've eaten rotten food for 12 years straight. That's all I've been doing.
Yeah. That's what the fuck this guy does to me. Like every move he makes, I just have to like brace myself, you know? Like I might die today. Like if he drives like shit. I'm like, I might die today. When he cooks, I'm like, I might die
Are you
today.
the better driver or is he the better driver?
She's a way
Oh.
better driver.
1,000,000%.
Depends
A
on who's
mil-
paying attention, though. If I'm paying attention, I drive not too bad.
He's really bad.
But I rarely pay attention.
What do you
He-
mean if you're
he-
paying attention? Wait, why is that a stipulation?
Well, because like I think I have like crazy ADD, and then so like if I'm actually trying to drive, then I think I actually drive pretty good. But most of the time I'm like, oh, I wonder what they're thinking about, and then I need the other cars to go like this to make me know to go like back in my lane.
Hey, don't ever drive Taika to school at any time.
I'm paying attention
does.
when I drive. with
Okay.
Tyco. Yeah,
No, he doesn't. He doesn't.
yeah, I drive Tyco all
He
the time.
drives the way he talks, right? So if he's talking fast or loud, then he's moving at that speed. If he has to think, then he's actually like stepping on the brakes to like gather his thoughts. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? We're
That's
on the fucking
true.
freeway. Like you can't do
That's
this
true.
shit.
That was my dad though. When my dad I would always hate pissing him off in the car because if he piss in the car,
He's driving
he would
fast.
drive super fucking fast, just like cursing me out in Korean, and he's going like 80 miles an hour, like zipping through the fucking traffic. Used to scare the shit out of me.
What's the craziest shit he ever did when he was pissed?
There's too many. He threw an office chair at my head once. That was
No,
pretty
no,
nuts.
while driving.
Oh,
Sorry.
well, my mom, I remember she's done this a couple of times actually. When they would get in fighting in cars, my mom would always be like, drop me off right now or I'm jumping out of this fucking car. Right? And so my mom is screaming
imagine
in
your
Korean,
mom.
just let me off right now. So my mom one time, I shit you fucking not, my dad's like, you want to be dropped off right now? We're in the freeway. She goes, now, screaming. He goes, fine. He goes, parks the car on the freeway. My mom gets on the freeway and just starts walking on the freeway.
Oh,
on the
shit.
side of the
What'd
road.
your dad do?
My dad drove off, of course, like a real man does. And he just drove off, right? And then we get a call from the cops saying, because she uses her phone call or whatever right now. She goes, I'm sorry, it's like, is this your mom or your wife or something like that, right? And I'm like, is this my mom? Where did you find her, right? She was like, she was walking at the side of the road on the freeway,
Oh
and
my
we have her at the
God.
Walmart. And I'm
Oh
like-
my God.
And I'm like, holy shit, dude, how fucking embarrassing. So my dad had to go pick her up at a Walmart because she was caught walking on the freeway because where my dad left her off.
I don't know why I
Oh,
picture your mom with
shit.
fucking disheveled, fucking fucked up hair, fucking leaves coming out of it, dirt all over her face.
Dude, I've told the story multiple times, but my mom, I've literally caught my mom because she's angry at my dad. She has her secret hiding spots, which, by the way, we don't have a big house. There's not much places to hide. So eventually we start finding these things. Usually it's just the garage, right? Couldn't find her one night. And then we thought she was gone forever because I don't know where the fuck she went. And I see something like rustling in our backyard.
Oh my God.
And I see something coming out of our pumpkin patch.
There's a
You
pumpkin
have a
patch?
fucking pumpkin
And our
patch?
backyard is huge. So there's like this where she grows squash and pumpkins.
Oh,
How
cool.
This
cool.
bitch comes out. She has like 30 mosquito bites on her face. It looks like Braille.
Oh, shit.
She slept outside in the dirt
Oh, my
in the
God.
squash patch
That's some fucking
because
K-rage.
she wanted to piss my dad off.
Yeah, just
And then
in spite of him.
And then she just comes out like Killmonger from Black Panther, just dots all over her
Oh,
face, dude.
Shit.
She was a spiteful human being. So
I love her.
if she wanted to incite a reaction out of my dad, she would go to the fucking extremes.
Did she get one or your dad already left for work?
Oh, my dad would say
Oh, that would have been funny.
my dad would say stupid shit too. Like, I'm like 22 years old at this point. This is not that far ago, right? Like, I'm like 22 years old. He goes, I have to find you a new mommy. I'm like, Dad, I'm 22. Like, I don't need a new mommy. The
Yeah.
fuck are you talking about? But he would get fed up with a lot of our antics because it was so extreme in our house. It would,
Yeah,
like, I remember
I love it.
if you go into our house, I could show you every single hole in our house, from a wall being punched, from somebody throwing a rice cooker, from my dad
What
kicking
the
a door down.
fuck?
Dude, it was fucking violent in our house,
Is
dude.
your dad a pastor?
He is a pastor, so he was trying to exorcise the demons out of her heart,
Oh, okay.
which my mom was fucking nuts. And when I look back at it now,
Yeah.
I actually understand my father a little more because this
Oh.
fucking woman is nuts. And I
So
even
as a kid,
We
you were
all
more
kind of
as,
are.
as a kid you were more scared, but then
Mhm.
now you're like, oh shit, this is because
I'm
mom's
like,
crazy.
dude, I'm surprised my dad stuck around
Oh
because
shit.
she's kind
Yeah.
of crazy. Like, she incites anger out of people. Well, not to other people, but specifically.
Well,
out
yeah,
of my
we
father.
know our man's buttons. You know what I mean? So we're like,
Then why do you do it?
Should we? Okay. Yeah.
So my dad, like, it's so funny too, because now my dad cracks up because he says like, oh, now you understand. I was like, I do understand now. I do understand why you were so stressed, because my mom is somebody who's hyper emotional. And now that I'm older, I can have conversations with her and tell her, hey, you're being a little ridiculous. Like, when I went back for last year Thanksgiving, she was trying to make this Korean dish. So she was asking for a large bottle of vinegar, right? My dad's like, oh, I'll go get it. He comes back, he gets a medium-sized vinegar. This bitch, she goes off. She goes, do you not know what a large-sized bottle of vinegar is?
Shit.
What the hell is this? I asked for, I was like, hey, what the fuck's the problem? And she goes, I wanted a big one. I was like, can you still make the dish with the small one? She goes, yes. You can't even drive. How fucking dare you?
Damn.
Yeah, I was like, how dare you yell at somebody for getting you something that you can't get yourself?
Yeah.
Be quiet.
Yeah.
She goes, oh, mommy crazy. And she just goes back to making kimchi.
That's
Oh my
tight.
god.
Yeah.
That's tight that she was able to kind of like get like snap back into reality. She's like, fuck it.
Well, I mean that kind of sucks, right? Because
Why?
it's such a big emotion for something that's not that important to her.
Yeah.
So it sucks because now she's just stressed out David, the dad, and it wasn't even that big of a deal because she's like, okay,
So you
She's-
know how I feel now?
excuse me,
What?
Are you like
you
that?
just called my fucking pussy
I
worse
think,
than
I don't know if it's all girls, but I do feel like, you know, like when you see like just the way dads and moms take care of kids, the moms are always freaking out over the smallest shit. And I feel like maybe that's just something that's just
maternal or something?
Maternal.
well, that's
or
why
native
your
to
stupid
chicks.
asses are alive because we're looking at all the
because you're
possibilities.
yelling about vinegar
and
size.
I don't do that.
What's
do I
this
do
a
that?
vinegar?
Do I do that?
I think so. I think all chicks do a little bit.
Let me ask you something.
Yes. Ask
Do,
her.
do you, on a regular basis, how often do you try to chastise or correct something that he does on a daily basis?
I think I've eased off a lot.
You have
He's-
eased off a lot, actually.
A lot. So not too many. I mean, he still does a bunch of dumb shit, but like I try to let that go. I think you should
try to let it
ask
go?
him. Absolutely. You do dumb shit all the fucking time.
Like what?
Like, one of them is he'll turn the water on to wait for it to get hot, right? And he knows that I hate wasting water. So he'll leave it on and then he goes and takes a shit that always takes him at least 10 minutes. At least. And I'm like, why do you even do that? Like, why? Why would you do that?
Like
You know,
time it out. So once it gets hot, I can jump in the
it
shower.
doesn't take 10 minutes.
It's like 5 minutes.
Exactly.
It takes 5 minutes for your water to get hot?
Yeah, we got this stupid fucking tankless ass water heater thingies. Like, it's these small ones. So it just takes forever for us to get hot water.
So it's supposed to be newer and like, I guess, more eco-friendly.
But it
I
takes
don't
forever.
get how.
Yeah, I don't know how. Because, you know, like the
You're wasting
traditional
more
water
water.
heaters, the big cylinder ones, like they're already filled up with hot water. So it's instant, pretty much instant. These ones, they have to heat the water and it takes like 5 minutes for it to
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know this is a stupid example, but that's the only one I can think of. But he's always doing dumb shit.
How do you guys resolve that stuff? That you just kind of just let it go?
Well, he's really good because either I let it go and I'm like, okay, this is fucking dumb, and I'll just like not say anything, or he just listens and he's just like, whatever. Like we're at the age and at the point in our relationship where we pick and choose our battles. We're just like,
I'm being on both ends.
yeah. I think it's like, is it worth getting riled up, or can we just let it go? And
Yeah,
then
like
we go,
what's the real thing we're trying to do? If we say
Yeah.
we're trying to watch a movie later, then whatever happens
Yeah,
in
we're like,
between,
fuck it.
let's just get to our asses on the couch and have the good time that we said we're gonna have.
Yeah.
And then everything else doesn't really matter.
How long
Yeah.
did it take for you guys to get to that point, though?
Okay, so we're 12 years in.
Damn.
And I think the last 2 or 3 years have been like the
Awesome.
best.
Like
The
fights
fucking best.
don't last more than 10 minutes or even 15 minutes. So I think now we're so in sync and we're so on the same page that we just want to have a good time. So regardless of like who felt like who wronged who, we
Yeah, we
would
don't care.
we'll just go back to the kitchen or living room, look at each other, and just hug it out. Like it doesn't even matter. Like
Do you
Yeah.
think that that's because of the kid that kind of helped you reprioritize what's important?
Well, yes and no. Yes, because the way our relationship was headed, we were already gonna break up. So like, how many years in? Like 8, 9 years in, I think.
maybe.
At that point, we like our relationship was so fucked up that it was like, okay, we either fix it or we just fucking dissolve everything. We leave JK, we fucking get rid of Barbell, we split ways. Or we fucking muscle it out and we talk about literally every single fucking thing and fix it right then and there. So that was like the first catalyst to like really dissecting and looking at our relationship. And then once that was getting better, we were like, okay, I think we're in a really good, stable place to now bring a human into this world. And then I think once we got pregnant, I hate that once I got pregnant,
We got pregnant.
all right? I did all the work. No, I swear. It was all me, I
You
swear.
can't have the plants without the seeds.
Ooh, dude, that's poetry right there, dude.
Yeah.
Especially with that hat on. That shit hit way harder. That shit was tight. You
Your
can't
dry
have
ass hands.
You, can't, you saw dust come out. I was like, oh shit. You can't have the plant without the seeds, though, homie.
Yeah, we can. We're in fucking 2021. We don't need men for
Alright,
any
this
damn
is true.
thing.
This is very true.
Yeah, so then at that point we were just like, what the fuck is important, you know? And like he grew up kind of like in like the type of environment you did where there was like a lot of hostility, and our relationship was pretty hostile for a few years that I'm like, I ain't doing that shit and bringing a kid into this world to witness that shit.
Mhm.
And yeah, he's just really good at like being super logical with shit and just going like, yeah, I need to cut that out.
That's so interesting because, like, I feel like that's a hard part for people to do as they get older, because when you get older, you're kind of more set in your ways and not willing to change.
I disagree, man. I think like that's just lazy.
I'm saying most people are lazy when they're
Fuck
older.
most people are lazy, yeah.
That's
Because I
what it
feel
is.
like, because then
Yeah.
you hear people that are in their 30s going like, "Oh, I'm too old. I can't fucking."
Yeah,
I
well,
can't
those
do it."
people
I'm like,
also look like shit. They look like the way they behave.
yeah, and those are the people that will be like, "Oh, I'm set in my old ways. So you can't teach an old dog new tricks." It's like, shut the fuck up. Like you can always change some shit if you really want to.
Yeah.
Having a
Yeah.
kid though, I think actually helped me understand her. So that helped me out a lot where like I'm super logical, right? So things have to make like very like logical sense, and it has to go like A to B, B to C, and that's how I understand things. But when it comes to emotions, like you can experience all kinds of things at the
Shit,
same
like,
time.
It's
Yeah.
like it's like Taika going onto a whiteboard and going like this.
Yeah,
you know?
you could be like, you could be pissed, but then also cry because you're kind of sad, but you also have empathy, or you're happy. You could feel all that, and it was really hard for me to understand that. And then also, the way that she expresses things, like because I'm logical, like when she's mad at something and then it hits my my logical, I guess, like dominoes, it goes ding 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 ding. By the time it hits Z, I've also exploded, but because she's emotional, it's fleeting. She lets it out, it's gone, right? But for me, once it hits Z, like I have an atomic bomb that goes off inside my body. Now I'm pissed for at least 6 hours.
Yeah.
So by me like taking care of Taika and seeing how he is, how he can be happy and then sad, like literally within seconds, it helped me understand, because like kids are so
That's
pure.
amazing.
Right?
I like how
Before we continue this podcast, let me talk about one of our amazing sexy ass sponsors. We're talking about Raycon earbuds. If you are listening to headphones with wires in it, well, aren't you a dummy? Because you should be listening to the best audio with the best earbuds with the best audio quality you have ever heard in your life. And I love my Raycon earbuds because I don't have to deal with wires. I don't have to deal with wires while I'm doing jumping jacks or chasing after somebody that stole my Rice Krispie treat yesterday. Yes, I tackled that 3-year-old and I took my Rice Krispie back while I was listening to a podcast in your face. A couple of stats about the Raycon earbuds. They are water resistant and sweat resistant, and they pair up seamlessly with Bluetooth. I don't want to deal with stuff with hassles, and Raycons do not have that. Listen up, my friends. Raycon's offering 50% off all their products for my listeners, and here's what you got to do to get it. Go to buyraycon.com/brain. That's it. You'll get 15% off your entire Raycon order, so feel free to grab a pair and a spare. That's 15% off at buyraycon.com/brain. buyraycon.com/brain.
because of Taika, you can figure me out.
No, because
you're a
kids are like
I'm a fucking child.
no, because kids are exactly, because kids are so pure and they're just expressing all this emotion. What I learned the most about it is he has nothing against me, right? Like we have no beef. It was just brought to
You
this
don't know
earth.
that.
Well, that's what I'm assuming, and so what helped me is not taking your emotions personally now.
Yeah.
Whereas before, like something that she would explode on, I would take it personally. Like, I hate when you act like this, when you go crazy. And now I go, that's just the way she has to express it.
Yep.
Just like how Taika's going to express it this
Damn,
big.
that's really hard to do.
Yeah. And
Yep.
it took a long time, but I think having the kid was help me able to take care of the big kid.
Well, I mean, and we would also talk about it a lot because for
This was just sneak dissed her ass and she was tight.
Would you say, Snyders?
God damn it, you guys please don't call me that.
It's already done.
That honey mustard.
I'm already tired that Gio has Snyder's pussy.
Hey, some people are really gonna want it now.
Yeah, but it's all over the place, so it's cheap and easy. Go ahead.
Aww.
Boom, boom.
Yeah. What was I saying? What did you sneak in? What did he say?
Just
I didn't
touch
get
a
it.
big kid, that's all.
So
Oh.
she said it took the little kid to understand the big
Big
kid.
kid.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much. Pretty much. But like, because he didn't grow up with so much emotion, like any emotion was huge for him,
It was
you know?
huge, yeah.
Like, even if it was,
overwhelming.
yeah, like me just going like, oh shit, I stepped on my shoe. Like I scuffed my brand new shoe. For him, it was like me going, oh, why did this happen? Why?
Yeah.
You know, but I think for the regular person, it's like, oh fuck, I know that feeling.
Mm.
You know, so for him, it was just like we were on complete.
Yeah, any
fucking
little bit
opposite
of
sides.
emotion that people expressed that was like negative, it was almost like people were sobbing as if like their parents died or something. It was crazy to me.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Has it always been like that for you?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah,
it's
no?
been tough.
So you couldn't even see like the spectrum of emotions.
Nope.
It was just, I could see it, but it's just so overwhelming and it almost like paralyzes me. So I'm like, holy fuck, I've never experienced, like when let's
And
say
you got with the most emotional Latina ever.
yeah, it would be like even when,
I can't believe you got it with a fucking Mexican girl, dude.
like even if I get in
We're
a car
fire,
accident with a
baby.
friend, right?
Mhm.
When we're in the car accident and like, let's say we hit a car and we're spinning out of control. If we're spinning,
You started writing a journal as your car.
Yeah, basically,
no, if we're
he's
spinning,
so composed.
if we're spinning, of course I'm like in fear because the car is spinning. But if someone goes, oh shit, then all of a sudden my entire attention is drawn to that overwhelming emotion, and almost that emotion is bigger than the car spinning.
I just pictured that accident happening. You go, stop being a pussy.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
Just in slow mo, glass shattering everywhere. You're a fucking bitch.
That sounds like Bart.
yeah.
That's fucking funny. Yeah, he says it takes him a minute. Like even if like someone were to hit him, it takes him a few seconds for him to register the pain. You know.
What is wrong with you?
That's what I'm saying.
You know why? It's because you were fucking dropping E at the age of 6.
I think so. Yeah.
You fucked up your head so much. You did so much drugs way too early, dude.
Yeah, it could be. Or it could be the crazy Buddhist upbringing where everything's super suppressed. You're not supposed to feel anything.
There's too many things here. There's too many things.
Too many things. But I think that's also what drawn me to E was, I think when I was 14 or 15, yeah, I took E and I was like, oh shit, I could finally feel for once.
Aw.
Hey friend.
It's like, hey, remember that time I called you a bitch when we were in that car accident? Mid-accident? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I feel it now too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's it. He's come. I mean, we've obviously as a couple have come such a long way, and I think our relationship's so beautiful now.
Do you feel that you had to learn how to be less emotional when interpreting what he's doing?
No, because it was really cool because he was now we're able to understand how we each communicate. So when he gets super logical, before I was taking it as, damn, you're not respecting, like I'm emotionally bleeding right now. Like you're not taking into account how I might be feeling or even trying to understand it or question it. You're just trying to get to the bottom of the fucking issue. And I'm like, I'm bleeding right now. Like, please take care of that.
Like we also know somebody. I'll say the name after the podcast, but he's also somebody that I had to talk to recently about how he doesn't understand that not everybody needs their problems fixed because nobody fucking asked you to fix their fucking problems, right? And I think his biggest issue right now is that he's learning at a very late age in his life that what he says that he wants out of a partner is actually not the person that likes who he is. Like, so for example, what I mean by that is that in his mind, he's saying, I want a girl who's a boss ass bitch that knows what the fuck she wants. She makes good money and I don't have to make decisions for her. And I laughed in his face. And he was like, what are you laughing? He's like, that's what I want. I was like, that's what you say you want, but that's not how you behave. I was like, because the problem is that you're somebody that likes to fix people's problems. Well, guess what? When a girl doesn't need your fucking help to fix them,
He's useless.
where is your conversation going?
Yeah.
You talk to people, you don't speak with them.
Yeah.
You go, oh, so this is what you should solve. This is what you should do.
Yeah.
I was like, girls who have their shit together, they don't need you for that.
Yep.
Yeah.
They just want you to be your own boss.
Yep.
But you start feeling an ego thing where it's like, oh, you feel less of a man now that this woman knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
So how do you want a woman like that? You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So he always tries to logically give people all this advice and shit when it's not really necessary. It's like,
Yeah.
that's why women like that don't like you.
Yep.
So you got to figure out what you really want. You
Yeah.
know?
You're not wrong. So we started just understanding how each other communicates and thinks, and we really stuck to respecting that. So I didn't have to tone it down and he didn't have to tone it down, because now when he comes in with all the logical shit, when I'm feeling emotional about it and I can't get logical, then it's like, hey, right now this is kind of too much. Let me figure it out. We'll talk in an hour. So now he knows.
I like the space thing a lot. Like
Yeah.
the space thing helps a lot.
Fuck yeah.
You know?
So now like he knows when to expect it, and he's not just like in his feelings going like, fuck, when are we gonna solve it? We're gonna solve it. We got to talk about it. And then at least for me, I'm not gonna say some hurtful shit because I'm just super emotional. I don't know how to express myself, and I'm gonna fucking cry or yell or whatever.
Yeah.
One thing I also learned at a late age, which is pretty crazy. So I say I'm logical, and I know I'm logical, but I think as a human being, you're still just emotional no matter what. So when we get into a fight and then right away I want to talk, she needs to feel it and collect her thoughts.
Yeah.
When I say I want to talk, I really don't want to talk. I really just want to argue and have this logical battle of trying to convince her why she's wrong and I'm right. But that's not really trying to reach each other and get to a compromise or really trying to hear each other out. You're just trying to prove your point. And it took me a long time of actually her like asking me questions. So
And
I'm trying to have these, calling me out and figuring out these logical battles. When I was able to finally, you know what, I'm just going to take her word for it. When she's going to go chill the fuck out, I'm going to go chill the fuck out too. And when I'm chilling the fuck out and I'm kind of venting to myself and having my own dialogue, once I got all of that out of the system, when I went to go talk to her, I'm like, oh shit, I actually don't need to prove my point, and I'm actually really ready to hear what you have to say. And it was just kind of like my logical was just being masked by having a very emotional, articulate argument, but it really wasn't logical. I was still just as emotional. I just didn't even know I was.
It was dope because like the moment I caught that was happening, I felt like Neo of the Matrix, because it was like we were both heated. We both thought we were right at whatever we were arguing at. So he's going like, I'm just trying to be logical. I'm just trying to talk, blah, blah, blah. This and then he's trying to prove his point. And I was like,
you saw zeros and ones.
Yeah, I did. And I was like I just started, like I giggled a little bit because I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I just cracked this. Because I could just hear him and how hurt he was. And it was no logic at all. It was pure emotion. And I'm like, oh shit, you're really sad right now, right? I'm like, damn, is it because of this, this, and this? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like,
And then
yeah,
you
you're not being emotional at
and then-
all.
yeah, and then
I
you
mean,
hugged me.
logical. Yeah. And I'm
then
like,
I went like this. I started running the other way. I was like, oh shit, she figured it out.
She figured it out, dude.
it was
Mr.
nuts, man.
Anderson.
Because a lot of the arguments don't even have to do with,
right in the
Yeah.
chest. I'm hurting.
yeah. And then I fucking grabbed his heart and I was like, do, 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 do. It was epic. And then once we were able to really see that it's like our own perception of whatever happened. And it's obviously with the baggage that we have that we're perceiving these things as incorrect or whatever. And then all we're doing is just fucking throwing negative emotion at each other. Once we were able to figure that shit out, we were like, oh.
That's really hard though. Like,
Fuck yeah.
All
yeah.
this stuff is so fucking difficult. And I think like, you know, for a lot of young people who listen to this, they're like, oh, now I know what to do. It's like, no, you're
Nah, it's a lot of work,
you're
bro.
gonna try it and you're gonna fucking fail. Not to say you should keep trying it, but it's very
Absolutely.
difficult. It's something that you have to keep on trying because this is like a 12-year relationship.
Yep.
So
It took me like 35 years to figure out when I say I'm logical, I'm not really being logical. You
Yeah.
know? Because you just kind of believe who you are. And it took all of that for me to go, oh shit, I'm actually just venting and I'm thinking that I'm being logical, but I'm not. And then so now when she takes her time and we get into a fight, I take my time. And when we come back in 15 minutes, it's way better. And that's why none of our fights really last past 15 minutes.
Yeah,
anymore.
that's fucking crazy, dude.
it's
Yeah.
dope. It's really dope.
I can't fight with somebody and then go to sleep. That's my problem.
That's tough.
It has to resolve. Like Mariel's the type of person, like she'll fuck up my whole day and then 2 hours later and I'm just staring at her like,
You son of a bitch.
how dare
Yeah,
you
that's how
fucking-
we were.
How you just sleep, you stupid asshole. And I'm over here awake till 7 a.m. in the morning and she just wakes up. Do you feel better? I'm like, look at my eyes. I haven't slept. You know, she could sleep through anything. Like she could be pissed and then snore the next hour. I'm
Oh,
like,
shit.
how? How does
Yeah.
this happen?
You sound like us.
Who's the one that sleeps while being angry before?
Me. Yeah, like I could have sex, I could eat, I could do whatever. Like I'm fine. Again, because I'm used to feeling all these types of emotions. Like I feel happy, sad, angry, all in like a matter
Is
of
it like
seconds.
compartmentalized? Is it like, oh, this is my happy space? Because like whatever I'm feeling consumes me like entirely. That's why I don't know.
I guess it is per
because
compartment.
it's kind of hard for
like,
me to experience two emotions at the same time.
Because like, let's say that we were about to meet with David to shoot this podcast, right?
Yeah.
And we got in the biggest fucking fight ever.
Yeah.
As soon as I see David, you're out of my brain. Hey, what's up, man? Yeah, let's
Oh,
fucking
shit.
shoot. Hey, what's up, everybody? Woohoo!
Yeah, I'll still be pissed.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
You know, you got me in trouble once because Mariel and I were.
You asshole.
No, he didn't really do anything, but Mariel and it was one of these moments that you had. So Mariel and I were kind of lightweight arguing or something, right?
Yeah.
And then you FaceTime me, right?
Oh, yeah, I
and then
heard about
and I
this.
started cracking the fuck up.
I
and
heard
she
about
looks at me,
this.
she's like, "So you were just all upset, and then Bart calls you, and you're giggling your ass off." You know, I'm like, "But it's Bart."
Yeah.
You know. And then after I hang up, I look at her, I'm like, all angry, and she's like, "What the fuck? Like you're so happy to talk to everybody else, but Bart calls you, and you're laughing your ass off."
Hey, stop flirting with my husband, you jerk.
I'm like, "Hey man," he says your pussy's like Snyders. And
Yeah.
so, he needs
Pretty
some other type of
tasty.
joy in his life.
Yeah.
They're pretty tasty.
A little salty, too crunchy.
It's okay, they're not for you anyway.
Mm,
But yeah, man, I think doing that type of work really is though not you working on your partner,
yeah.
because then that's never gonna do shit. It's really looking at yourself and going, wait, why did I get triggered by this? Wait, why do I care about him leaving the toilet seat up? Wait, why do I care that he didn't wash the
When
dishes?
you guys felt like your relationship was falling apart and that option was on the table to
Mhm.
like, hey, we should just get rid of everything and then start new and then we go our separate ways.
Yeah.
Did that scare you a little bit?
Yeah, because I didn't want that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this was the first time that we had to look at our relationship. Because when we first got together, I think we were honestly boyfriend and girlfriend for maybe a couple months. And then after a couple months, we became business partners. And then,
Shit.
yeah, we just became business partners.
That took over, and then we end up being like pretty much more business partners. We spent more time being business partners than being
romantic. Partners.
romantic. Because then even when you go home in a startup business, you're always troubleshooting and figuring things out.
Yeah.
So all of our conversations are it's just like all day long business talk and not so much like our own intimate
Yeah,
talk.
and then if we had if we weren't having sex enough, or we weren't being intimate or romantic or having dates, like that was okay because we were young. We were like in our 20s, and it's fucking, we wanted to hustle, you know? So it's
There was
all
a
about
bigger
the hustle.
goal in mind. It's like, we could get that stuff later.
Absolutely, you know? So all these little things, we just kept sweeping under the rug, and eventually you can't walk on this rug anymore because there's so many bumps and you're tripping and you fucking hate the rug and you want to get rid of the rug, that when we were going to break up, it was like, fuck, but I really love you.
A lot to unpack too.
Yeah. It was rough, man. And like, and it was like, no, like I really love you. And like, he really loved me. And it showed how devoted we were to each other. It was just, we never took the time to really appreciate it.
Yeah.
So at that point, it was like, well, okay, let's decide. Are we going to leave it or we're going to stay? And then we were like, okay, we're going to stay. Okay, now what do we do? Fuck, we got to talk every single night for like months to just unpack and unpack. And it was exhausting.
Like, could you even imagine after like 10 years of being together and you're single again? Like, how the fuck would you?
How fun. I'm just kidding.
Because for me, it's almost
I'm
been
kidding.
7 years, right?
Yeah.
And I'm
Oh,
like,
shit.
and the thought, like, let's say Mary and I split, right?
Yeah.
Then I think about, how do I date? You know?
I wouldn't know.
How do I, go back to being flirtatious and, trying to spark
Can you flirt with me? What is that like?
hello?
No, really. How would you flirt?
I honestly don't know. Like, to be honest with you, that's the thing. I don't fucking know how to flirt. Because I think like before, it's like innately in you because you don't have anybody attached to you.
Yeah.
So when you're attracted to somebody, you're just trying to spit game.
Yeah.
Now
And you're just in that phase.
I'm not in that phase.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that's like. It's like, hey, what's your name? It's my name is David. It's like a titty. It's a nice. what do I do? You know? Because for me too, prior to that, I'm getting sweaty thinking about it right now. Like I'm freaking out because I don't know.
Ew.
Yeah, I don't know what I would do. I know how to be friendly, nice, but I don't know how to flirt now. Like in terms of I'm physically
You
attracted.
just have to look
you.
at her tits and then we get it.
He said
We
that-
like
that's,
it.
That's a cool.
Yeah, we like it.
Like I don't know what to do because before it was through humor, right?
Yeah.
And then humor was somehow I'm missing that piece where I don't know what I did after. It's like I would make the person laugh and make them comfortable.
Yeah.
Now my mind goes blank after. I'm like, well, how do I like close the deal?
I don't know what I would do either. 'Cause
That's what I'm saying.
I'm so used to like having like a wife and talking to a wife. I might just be like, hey, can you make me a sandwich?
You just go straight, just grab her tit.
Yeah.
What's up? Bah. It's like that doesn't really work like that, guy.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's we don't ever think about the part that just is a given now because
Yeah.
we've been together for so long. Like, what is the courting etiquette here? Like, what can I do? What can I do? And I start to get anxiety of this. I'm like, oh shit! Like, do I even know how to be a single person? And I don't think I do.
When I see my
Wow.
friends that are still in the dating phase and I hear the problem that they go through, it's like almost like an entirely different
Yes.
world. I'm like, oh shit. It's like that where like, oh, they said they're going to call you back in 4 days, but they didn't. And so now you're worried. And I'm like trying to relate, but I almost forgot what that felt like. And they're worried that because she's such a given in my life that she's like half of my life, right? So I can count on her on everything. I can count if I wake up in the middle of the night.
There's
she's
no
there.
doubt. It's
And there's
like-
no doubt. She is in my world.
Yeah.
So when I hear stuff like, oh, I don't even know what to do after 4 days, she didn't call me back. She told me she's going to call me back. And I'm like, I don't know what to say.
I'm like, hey man, that sucked, dude.
Yeah,
that's
that's-
all we got. It's like, damn, that sucked.
I think
bro.
it's harder for you guys because you guys are males, so it's kind of like
Yeah,
a
'cause
given.
girls are easy. Like it's just
I just have to show that I don't have a ring on anymore, and,
And
I
I
think
feel like
I'm
girls,
good.
it's like, this is your dude. And there's like 12 other friend zone dudes that just
Yeah,
can't
they're
wait to
waiting.
go up the escalator.
this to
Yeah.
climb right the fuck up, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Because for guys, like we have to try.
Yeah.
Like, we have to try. Like we don't look like Daniel Henney.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like so, it's not.
Yeah, no
like,
one's gonna mistake you for him. Don't worry.
Oh, it has happened multiple times. They're
doubt
like,
it.
"Are you Daniel Henney's fucking dumbass brother?"
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Yes, that is me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's weird because like I've only seen a couple of times where I've seen a guy get approached like a woman gets approached,
Oh, wow.
and they're very very attractive.
I see. Yeah.
Like specifically, there was a girl on Instagram that I was following. Right, this girl fine as fuck. Right, I'm like, and I got a big following, but I'm not like trying to slide in her DMs or whatever. Right, and then one of my other buddies, very handsome guy, absolute nobody. He goes, oh, she's hot. I'm a follower too. Follows her, she DMs him right back. She goes, hey, how are you? And I'm like, you and I are no longer friends. Like you don't talk to me ever. Like she'll
That's
like my stuff because
amazing.
I'm funny or whatever, but never DM me. And he just exists. And he just gets
Oh,
whatever
now
the
I gotta
fuck
know
he
these
wants.
people after.
So like even
I'm a chismosa.
it's like so another buddy, I'll tell you his name after, right? And I'm pretty sure he doesn't want me to tell the story, so I won't.
I'll
Just
tell you a name too.
so let's just call him. His name is Peter, right? So
Okay.
Peter, This dude has literally messaged me multiple times about what he should do while he's on a dating app, while he's talking to these women. And I have never, ever in my life had women say certain things to him, ever, right? And he's a really, really chakan guy, like a really nice guy. So, but he has like a bad boy look to him. So girls kind of are attracted to him. He has tattoos, like he's like this nice, like tan dude, tattooed up, fucking sexy looking as hell. And on the app, I shit you fucking not, he sent me a screen cap of his conversation. And I got so infuriated because he couldn't close the deal only because he doesn't know how to interact with this, even though it's a given. So he writes, they're back and forth. She goes, hey, I think you're really fucking cute. And he goes,
that's the most straightforward shit I've ever seen.
that's what I'm saying.
Shit.
And you know what he writes back?
You shut the fuck up. I got a story after that.
God damn it.
So he writes back, he goes, tight, that's cool.
Sounds like Bart.
And I'm like, okay, dog. So what happened? And then so she's like, so he kind of like doesn't know what to say. And I'm reading this text thread, right? She goes, okay. She goes, hey, I'm gonna be in your town. You want to like hook up? Hook up means fuck.
Yeah.
Right?
Wow.
Yeah.
And he goes, that sounds tight, is what he wrote back. And what are you doing? Just close the deal, right?
Yeah.
And at the end, she just writes, what do you want me to do to you? I've never, ever had a single woman talk to me like this.
I get what you mean.
Ever, right? And he just writes back, he goes,
That's tight.
I don't know, question mark. And then the conversation dies.
Oh,
and he goes,
shit.
I don't know how to close the deal. I will fucking murder you right now, dude.
All you have to say is, what do you want to do to me?
Whatever, he could do whatever the fuck he wants to. And all he had to do was put his picture up on a fucking dating app. And they just like the way that he fucking look in his vibe.
But you already know what the fuck happened to him. So he was trying to get at this like really cute white chick back when he was in UCLA. She invites him over to his apartment because she's going to have a get together.
Oh.
Yes. And there's going to be like a pool party get together.
Oh.
So she says.
She was really pretty. She was like really, really pretty.
Uh-huh.
And then, so he shows up and then she goes, and they're in the pool, right? At this point?
We're in the hot tub.
In the hot tub. And then she goes, yeah, I don't know what's happening to all my friends. None of them showed up. And he's like, oh man, that sucks.
I was like, your friends are so irresponsible.
All
And
right.
it's like, this
She's
is our
like literally throwing
our hot
herself
tub's
at
right
him.
here. She's sitting right here. I'm sitting right here. And the entire
You
pool was all
idiot.
empty on a rooftop. And then I
How
was so
romantic.
oblivious that I was like, your friends didn't show up? I'm like, damn, that sucks. Like, your friends are just that flaky? I can read that she wanted me to have alone time, but she just didn't want to make it awkward and go, hey, you want to come swim with me?
I hate you.
So she's like, I'm
Right?
having a pool
I
party.
legit fucking hate you. You
Yeah.
probably said like, well, let's reschedule this party. And you just got
Probably.
up.
Probably
put your
something
clothes
like that.
Oh my, what were you thinking? You didn't think that she wanted to like hook up or nothing?
I think there's maybe like a 10%.
I got another one too.
There might be a 10% like thought.
But you're like, impossible.
But it's like, yeah, I'm like, oh, it's impossible. No
Dude,
way.
okay, so then he was dating, this is when we were friends, obviously. So now he's dating like this foreign exchange chick who's from like,
Oh,
That's how-
Austria. Yeah.
Ooh.
pretty tall, slender. She could be a model. I don't know what happened that she was asked if she could sleep over. So they sleep in the same bed. This fool like, okay, good night. Turns over. Doesn't do anything. I'm like, what the
I'm a
fuck
gentleman.
is wrong with you? You fucking
That
dummy.
girl probably felt like she was the ugliest
Yes.
person on earth.
Yes.
Like hideous.
Yes. He did that.
It's actually kind of hard for a girl, in my personal opinion, to kind of put themselves out like that.
It
Yes,
is,
I
yeah.
would. So when we were first dating too, I would wear like his t-shirts with like nothing underneath, or like his muscle shirts that were longer because he's like bigger. You could see like side boob and stuff, and he'd brush his teeth and he would just go to bed. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I'm fucking hot. What
I'm
are
like,
you doing?
So irresponsible. Didn't do her laundry.
You're like, you know it's winter, right? Put on a fucking sweater.
Basically, I'm like, are you gay or something? Like, do you not see me?
Do you not see this right here?
Yeah. But later I come to find out.
Very bad laundry habits.
You just put a fucking hoodie on her? Yeah, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, you're gonna catch a whole fucking cold, you hoe. But later I come to find out, like for him at least, is he just grew up in a very religious household, so it was like all very shameful. But with your friend, I don't know.
But
he's
like
tripping.
religious people, though, they're like the freaks, though.
Well,
They are.
I could
Like-
go either way.
Them Catholic girls, dude, they're fucking nuts.
It could go either way though.
They're just looking for nut in their face all the time. They're like, who's gonna nut in ye face?
You know what's crazy? So one of our mutual friends, we went to one of those like YouTube celebrity basketball games.
Yeah.
And, you know, like as dudes, you almost never experience what like hot chicks go through, or even regular chicks go through. right? And so the minute we got there, they had a briefing in the lobby, and you could just see one of the other, because this guy's good looking, you could see one of the other like YouTube chicks look at him and just immediately lock eyes. And when you lock eyes, you're like, oh shit, that's really forward, because girls don't let you know, like, like I'm
down to fuck.
I'm down to do whatever.
Damn, what's it like to be good looking? Like
and
that?
then
I'll tell you later.
The whole night, I didn't really pay attention, but then this guy who's closer to you than he is to me, he was like, Bart, I can't shake her. I'm like,
oh, I think I know who you're talking about.
and I'm like, what? He goes, and he would like give me the eye signal, and I would look, and wherever he goes the whole night, on the bus, going to eat, the after party, wherever, that chick is always following. And then I think we had a 1 hour break the next day. He's like, I'm gonna go back. I see everyone later. I'm gonna go back to my hotel. I'm gonna just chill a little bit. And then she goes, can I come? And then he was like, wait, don't you have your own hotel room?
Oh, Jesus.
Because he wasn't trying to.
Oh, I see.
But it was just crazy that
girl,
some dudes are just so good looking that girls can't even control themselves.
that girl literally showered that night in her room with her clothes on, crying.
Crying. Yeah.
It's like I literally opened my legs and threw my vulva in his mouth.
Yep.
And he went, "Tuh," is what he
Yeah.
did.
He said Snyders or whatever the
He
fuck it's
said
called.
Snyders, not even that fucking
I like
Takis.
Snyders though. Okay.
Oh, Snyders.
Honey mustard pretzels.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you see people with that certain level of attraction, it's kind of crazy how much they can. That's what I'm saying. Like, good is even true. I think statistically, like people
How
who are
come you're
better
talking
looking.
about good-looking people as if like I'm not in the room?
Good looking dudes.
Oh, okay, fine.
We're talking about dudes right now,
All
which
right,
you should
fine.
understand as well.
Yeah.
So,
I do have a
found-
mustache.
isn't it true? Like statistically, like people who are better looking actually book more jobs.
Absolutely.
Supposed to, yeah.
100%. They did a study with with babies, and they put babies in a room with a not so attractive person. They didn't want anything to do with them. As soon as an attractive person came in, they
Wow.
were like drawn to them.
So
They
it's
were
just
so
primal.
happy.
It's
Yeah.
the primal thing.
That's true. One of my friends has a really ugly baby, and I hate that child for no fucking
Wait,
reason.
no, wait, the other way. It's the other way around.
Oh, what?
The
baby-
baby's supposed to like not like unattractive people.
Oh, really? Well, I hate that child. That baby, when I look at
What
him,
a
I'm like,
bully.
yuck, dude, you're so disgusting. That baby looks like ET, that's why. But I'm not. I do
Most
not-
babies look like ET.
Most babies are pretty ugly. Like Taika was really ugly,
was really ugly.
up until maybe 2 or 3
he
months.
was really ugly. Don't
Yeah.
tell me
No,
otherwise.
when Taika was born, he was really, really
no.
cute.
When
No.
I saw him, I was
No.
like, okay, this guy has way more of my genes than Gio's
Yeah,
genes for sure.
100%.
And then later on, he got way better looking.
I thought Taika was pretty cute when he was
I
born.
hope people know we're fucking around.
I thought,
Nah, I thought
I
he was
hope
ugly.
everyone knows.
Nah, I thought this-
I thought he was ugly.
I don't
I was like, either this baby got a hold of a lot of my genes, or Gio is just all plastic
When he was
surgery.
first born, they look icky. Like when they're first born, they're like gray and kind of weird looking. No, but like a few hours later, he was, what the fuck? What's with your face?
I was
that
just
face
picturing
is-
him when he was born. He was ugly.
He was cute. No,
Dude, Taika's gonna
a
look
few
at this
hours.
one day like, fuck you, dad.
I know. No, he's cute
We
as hell
love him
now.
so much, he wouldn't even care.
He's cute as hell
You know,
now.
for you, when you had Taika, right? And with Taika's now, what, almost 3? No, he's
About
Three and a
4.
half, about. Almost 3.5.
He's gonna be
Oh.
4
He'll be
this
3.5
year.
in March and then 4 in September.
right? So he's almost, what, 3 or 4 years old, right?
Yeah.
So I had a conversation with a friend of mine, and I didn't understand this at the time. When she was saying this to me, I thought it was kind of dumb. But now that I look back on it, I understand what she's saying now. She
Mhm.
goes, when I have a kid, like, I think I would hate it when somebody calls me whatever my kid's name is. Like, let's say Bika. Let's say, oh, that's Bika's mom, instead of saying my actual name. Right. And I was like, why do you care about that? I think she was talking about, you kind of lose a little bit of your identity when it just goes into the child. And so do you feel like for you, like when you became a mother, that you had a trouble like finding yourself as a woman? Or are you okay with just being this kid's child?
I'm okay with being the kid's child, but what happened was
Kid's mother. I'm sorry. The child's mother.
Yeah.
My bad.
kids. What
Hey,
did
man,
I say?
I had,
Kid's
like,
child. Oh fuck!
Shit,
And
my bad,
I'm
blood.
sober completely, but that's how fucking down I am that I still went with
Oh.
it. Yeah, I don't mind being this child's mom at all. And if they call me Taika's mom, I love it. I don't care. But I think in the beginning it was rough for me because I had given so much of myself to Taika, like naturally you should, that I'm like, oh shit, wait, who am I anymore? Because like my body was completely different. Like I wasn't sleeping, I wasn't eating right. Like I was just so focused
On a
on
side
enriching
note,
his
though,
life.
as just to diss this fucking girl, we're out in Vegas, right? She's telling me what her body went through after pregnancy, and I could literally give a shit less. She literally looks at me, right? This fat as I am, she goes, dude, do you know what my belly feels like? She's like, touch it. I'm like, That's what my stomach feels like.
Yep.
Don't you ever fucking complain to me about your
Yep.
problems.
And I was like talking about my feet.
ankles
Yep.
hurt. I can't tie my shoes because my belly.
Yep.
I'm like, are you talking to like 30 years of my life right now, bro? Like, what are
Yeah.
you fucking talking about?
Hey, now I know. Now I know what you go through, all
now
right?
you know.
Now I know.
Heartburn.
Yeah, it was fucking rough. It was rough. Heartburn, all of that. Getting hot out of nowhere. I was getting like gassed out of nowhere. Just thinking I was already fucking, I couldn't breathe. But yep, all you.
Mm-hmm.
No, but like, yeah, the first couple of years, I was just like,
This guy.
this dude.
This dude here it is. This dude's tripping.
Yeah, man, it was rough. Because I'm like, who the fuck am I anymore? Because like
Yeah.
he kept his, like everything in his life stayed the same. And he was able to go through it. And I'm like, wait, why
I
the
got more
fuck?
ripped when you were pregnant.
You did. You were like super lean.
Oh, yeah.
I did I was actually really big before, and then I started getting way more lean when she was getting pregnant.
He's like, I don't want that dad bod. I'm
It's
gonna
like
do
the one time you
opposite."
can't fuck is when he gets fucking ripped.
I know. I just get the freaking nasty marshmallow guy the whole time.
Hey, man, but look at those biceps, though, blood.
I mean,
Ooh.
they're all right. Yeah, but it was hard. And now I think I want to see these past 2 years. I've been like, nah, this is cool. Like I just got to find what makes me me. And I say this is that year where I'm like, oh, I'm back. Like I feel like myself again.
Oh, you feel like yourself?
Yeah.
You think if you get a second kid, you think you would go through that whole process again,
No.
or you think you already know who you are?
Yeah.
So now it's yourself having the kid rather than transforming into
Right.
a mother and losing your identity.
Yep.
I mean, you seem a little more experimental, like specifically just looking at you through your like Instagram and your stories. You seem like you're a little more experimental with what you wear, how you express yourself.
I was always like that before though.
Really?
Yeah. I was the one wearing the weird pants, shaving my head, getting tattoos randomly out of nowhere. Like I was always that way.
But you feel like you toned yourself down around the kid.
Yeah, because I mean, I wasn't my size anymore. Like my whole body was changing. Like it was just, I was a different ass person, you know? So yeah, like now I'm like, oh God, I'm back. Oh, I feel like myself again.
Was it stressful for you to feel like you weren't yourself during that time?
Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. Because I mean, I've always lived in a body that I'm used to, right? Like I've always looked the type of way. I always felt the type of way. Like I only took care of myself.
Yeah.
I didn't have to take care of him. I wasn't responsible for anyone else other than myself. And now, I mean, I didn't grow up with a bunch of little kids. You know, I knew I wanted them. And then to go through it and now be responsible for one. And now it's not about me anymore. You know, everything I was consuming was because I'm breastfeeding or because I'm pregnant or I shouldn't eat that or I shouldn't go here. I shouldn't experience this
This little
thing.
parasite in your body was just controlling everything. Yeah.
It was literally a parasite,
Yeah.
you know? Like concerts even, I'm like, oh, it's going to be too loud. Like it's not healthy for the baby. And now it was so much on the kid. I mean, it still is on the kid, but now there's balance.
And for you, I feel like for you, since you've had Taika, you're a lot more emotionally expressive than you were before. I think like for my outside perspective, it seems like you're more comfortable with showing emotion because you could show it through this kid and it expresses in other ways now too.
I think so too. I think for me, growing up like super like Buddhist, where you're trying to like shed yourself from emotion and also just Asian family and also being super logical, I never had a healthy outlet for emotions to express them.
Yeah.
So it's always been like, you know, like if you want to show your homie some love, it's like, hey, you wanna go slap box a little bit? You know, like that it's like you show like love in the
Slap box?
Yeah, it's like boxing, but you don't really have to punch each other. So you just
slap.
Yeah,
Which,
you just
by the way, hurts just as much.
yeah, you just because they end up hitting with palm, you start hitting hard. It's just you show love like Asian parent style, you know, like you don't here. I made you some food, now go fuck yourself. Like that's so it's like that kind of love. Yeah, it's like that kind of love. And I think when you're dealing with an adult, even though me and her have been together for a long time, there's still like the egos at play because she's her own person, I'm my own person. So like, you know, like as an adult, you're kind of scared of completely putting yourself out there just because like you're extremely vulnerable. So I never was able to get like, I guess, exercise the tools to fully express myself. But then with Taika, it's like the purest thing. He's not going to judge me or anything like that. And I think being able to express that emotion 100%, I can talk to him as CUNY as I want or as whatever as I want. And I, once I started to be able to exercise that, I was able to apply that emotion to other people now or to other parts of my life. Yeah. So at least for me, having a kid really helped me be better at being emotional.
Did that make you really happy too? It's like that this kid can really bring that side out of him because he was so hyperlogical.
It's interesting that you picked up on that it happened with Taika because I always felt like he was super emotional. like since the beginning, because he's the one that started all that little cutesy talk. And before then,
but maybe I just didn't even see it for myself.
yeah, before him, I thought cute little talk was so stupid. I thought it was so stupid. Like the most we'd be cute, like I'd be cute in a relationship, was calling them babe. Or like me calling my boyfriend baby was already too much. So
No poppy?
No.
Yeah, fuck that stuff, man. Yeah, you know, that's the whack.
Too whack.
Yeah, I don't like none of that shit.
No, not poppy.
Yeah, we right there.
have-
You know what I'm saying? We hate that stuff, man. Yeah, continue. Yeah, no poppy.
You're so stupid. I'm like, I already have a dad, motherfucker.
Yeah.
You're a babe. Yeah. So like, I already felt like he was a way more emotional than me. It was just when it came to arguments that's when it was just different. But as we fixed our relationship, I felt like he was already opening a lot because he would cry during movies. Like he would be like,
I always cried during movies though.
I know, but I wasn't used to that with
Like
other guys.
Training Day and 300.
You know,
The Exorcist.
exactly.
The emotional heart that was.
Yeah.
When they spun their head all the way around and came crawling down the stairs backwards, I was like, wow.
Yeah, no, I just felt like he was already a different person by that point. So when he was CUNY with Taika, it was already something I had already seen since the beginning. Yeah.
I think like maybe, I mean, that's a very specific side that he probably shows you.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know,
Only.
so it's very particular to you. Like,
Yes.
when Taika came around, that's when he started showing
That
it a
makes
lot
sense.
more to everybody else.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? I was like, oh, this guy's a lot more expressive than he was
Yeah.
before.
No, he was always like that.
Yeah. So to you probably got that side a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But for other people,
I got it too much, man. With the point I'm like, you make me feel like it was more prevalent when Taika was around because now it was like two things behaving the same way. And I'm like, I don't feel like fucking you anymore. Because you become like a baby. Because you'd be like so cute like that. And then I actually have a real one that's going, oh, but the mom, I'm hungry or whatever, you know, which is my son. And I'm like, what the fuck? You both can't be behaving the same way because I don't want to have sex with you anymore.
well, how would he have to behave then to
like a fucking man.
Hey, let me sock you in your tit, cuz.
Yeah.
You want to slap box, motherfucker?
You just come up to him. Like, oh my God, I guess we're fucking today. She has a black eye.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. So,
Yeah, a little bit more of that. Yeah.
so when it comes to like flirting and engaging, you need something very specific from
Now.
it can't be the like,
Mm-mm.
hey,
Nope.
hey, mom, bam.
It can't be that way. Dude, I'm telling you, when we first started dating and he came out with that shit, I was like, oh my God.
You start throwing
Like-
a gang signs, you better cut that out. Cuz.
No, in the beginning. So like, I wanted to be respectful with whatever shit was comfortable for him. Cause like, we were just talking about this today. Like when it comes to the sex realm, like I really try to respect whatever that person's into, you know? Like, if he came out and was like, yo, I love sucking my own dick, you know, inside I'm like, that's fucking weird, but thank you for sharing that with me. Let me see you suck your own dick, baby. You know what I mean?
But Poppy is where she draws the line. She goes, whoa, Poppy though, what the fuck?
I'm not gonna call anybody
But
Poppy.
suck your own dick, please.
Yeah, I'm not doing it. It's okay. So like when he came out with like the little CUNY Bell talking with the W's and the R's, you know, shit like that, I was like, okay, this is fucking weird, but I love him, so it's cool. Like that's just his way to be flirty. Just I can't do it anymore.
Oh,
I
now
can't.
it's like
it needs to be balanced.
Leave it on the podcast and the jokes and stuff. But if you want to fuck, you
Yeah.
better be a different type of man.
You better make me feel like my life's in danger.
Okay, well, what are we talking about now?
Yeah, squeeze my fucking soul.
So you need him to. So you are like into macho men. Like,
Yes.
That's super like.
Yes.
Hey, we fucking
Hello.
or what? Let's get this. And he just grabs you by the hair and just sock you in the mouth. Yeah.
Yep.
Thanks, babe.
Yep. I want to feel like I'm in like some sort of like I can lose my life tonight. I'm like, yeah.
Oh my God. It's like.
Okay,
oh my
not that
God.
crazy. That
When
sounds
we
extreme.
Fuck, say
No.
no, stop all the way through.
That sounds extreme, but it's not like that. It's more sensual, but I'm just obviously painting a
Yeah, I
more
get the gun
exaggerated.
and I caress with the gun. You feel in
moves the
danger now,
hair.
motherfucker?
Let me get that
I'm
hair.
gonna
for you.
stick this Glock in your pussy. Bop, bop, bop.
No. No, it's not like that. It's not like that.
So what's your thing then? Do you need anything specific from her?
I think for me, because like, you know, when I get consumed in emotion, I'm in that state. So as long as we're good, she's just sexy. So
Thank you.
she
So
turns
it's
me on.
easy for you, huh?
It's easy, yeah. It's
Yeah,
it was
it's true.
it was before where like when we would have huge dry spells, it was because we're going through that really volatile phase where like I'm pissing her off, she's pissing me off, and then if she pisses me off, then I just want to kill her, so we don't have sex for like a whole month.
The regular shit.
I don't want to fucking murder her, so it's really different.
Yeah.
I feel like it's easier for guys, right? Like the girl just shows up naked and we're like, ready to go.
Yeah.
Let's just do it.
Yeah.
And I always like equate like women to like a fucking 1982 Honda Accord.
Yeah.
Like there's like a specific way to jingle the
You
fucking
gotta
key.
turn it 3
just right,
times, like
just
90
right.
degree.
Like
You
turn the
have
heater,
to,
turn the
man.
heater down, maybe the signal left.
I
center.
wish we weren't like that. Like I wish we weren't, but that's just how we're built.
So you need specific cues, and you can't just be like, okay, down to
Especially now, man. Like I'm
Oh.
so exhausted. Like before Taika, it was like, oh my God. Like I was always fucking horny, always ready to go. But after Taika, bro, it's fucking hard. I'm
Because
like,
you're exhausted, right?
yeah. And I've been taking care of this kid and giving him my
And
all.
you're
And like
working and
all of it, So then now it's like me time. And I'm like, finally, I can like be an adult. And now I have to like, now he's turned on and I'm like,
Oh, so it's like
shit.
after Taika's thing's taking over, then it's my time, then
Yes.
it's us time. So it's
Yeah.
like,
Yes.
that's
Like, it's
hard.
rough.
She's exhausted. I mean, I'm exhausted too. So like when we put Taika to sleep, sometimes we just go on the couch or our bed and we're just there.
Yeah.
Either on our phone for like 30 minutes or whatever. And then we're like, hey, you want to watch something? And then it's like us time.
I never understood when, I guess it's not for me because people told me that when they work out, like lift weights, they get hornier.
Yeah.
That's true.
I'm the opposite.
Really?
Oh.
When I work out, do activities, my sex drive is all the way down because I give
Oh,
it
crazy.
all into the workout or
Yeah.
kickboxing.
Oh.
And so afterwards, like for sure, if I'm kickboxing consistently, your boy will never be horny. I'm too tired. I'm too tired to be horny.
Whoa.
I'm exhausted. I'm done.
Does Mariel go, you better stop kickboxing. We need to have sex.
Well, I don't think Mariel is a hypersexual person. She'll
see.
go with the flow of things. So
Yeah.
it's like if I'm exhausted, I'm exhausted, and
Yeah.
she's sleeping all the fucking time too. So it kind of works out in that sense.
That's
but like,
nice.
because I was way hornier when I was fatter. I think because I wasn't
Whoa.
moving. So it's like the activity was sex.
Yeah.
But now that I'm always active, I'm biking 30 miles, 20 miles. It's like,
Oh.
I'm tired.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
interesting.
Which sucks for her. It's like, oh, it's the opposite.
You know, I think like cardio things is kind of like that. Like
Mm.
if I'm lifting weights, I do think I get hornier. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it like boosts testosterone
Just
or
test
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when I was training for the marathon, I don't remember being very horny.
Mm-mm.
I just wanted to sleep.
Yeah, because I
All
would
the
be
time.
running like 10, 15, like 19 miles. And I don't think I was very horny after that time.
Because she noticed like I would grope her less
Yeah.
when I'm working out. Like I'm just sleeping. She goes, oh, watch. He's going to try and have sex with me tonight. And I'm just, oh, it's like that? Oh, you're just tired now. Well, now you're Mr. Sleepy.
Talking all this shit.
Oh, no. She's great. I just get tired. Like
Yeah.
especially when I'm sore, sex is off the table. There is no sore sex. I cannot do it.
Really?
No, I'm too sore. It hurts. It's fucking painful. Dog, when I worked out with him at Barbell, we didn't have sex for 8 months.
Fuck.
I got
I'm
rep-
sorry, Mariel. I'm
that
sorry.
shit fucking hurt, man.
Yeah.
What happened that one other day we were having sex and I had like my hamstring started cramping?
That's hilarious.
I forgot what
Wait,
what was
what?
it?
When? Did we stop?
Yeah.
I don't know. What are you
I
trying to get at?
forgot. No, I just forgot.
Oh, that is just
Because
cramps?
I was thinking about like
Forgetful
the,
pussy, dude.
the-
That's
the-
what it is.
the soreness and like the it prevents you from fucking. And I was like, oh shit, what happened?
What
I had
was
a,
it? I don't
I had, like,
remember.
a tweaked hip or something.
Do you guys have to find like specific times? Because obviously I don't have a kid now, right? So it's like, do you have to find specific times to schedule or is it still spur of the moment?
No, it's
No.
not spur of the moment. It's definitely when he's asleep. For sure, he's just asleep.
After Taika's asleep.
After or before?
After.
Okay.
Yeah, before. I don't know. We don't do morning sex. And we also have very different schedules. Well,
Mm.
not very different, but he'll like leave like at 6. And then Taika wakes up by
Oh, yeah, you guys
7:30.
be up in the morning, dude. That's crazy.
Yeah, we wake up early. And then recently we've been like waking up at 4. So that ain't happening. Fuck all that.
Damn.
And I'm the
Yeah.
most horny during the day, and you are
Afternoon.
too, or in the
Yeah.
afternoon. So I feel like once Taika goes to school,
It's on, baby.
yeah,
You watch.
Mommy,
Watch when
this house
Taika's-
smells funny.
Yep. When he's
Yeah.
5, baby, we're fucking everywhere.
yeah,
So
Everywhere.
you say.
I know,
I know.
right?
It's like, so we say, and then you guys are just back on the couch.
We're like,
Oh, this feels good to
Oh,
be
I know.
just chilling.
because we know at 3:00 he's gonna get out from school and be over.
I mean, that's what schooling is, though. It's really free daycare.
Yeah,
It is.
You know, get the fuck out of here
Please.
and let us be like humans again for a
Let us
second.
fuck on the kitchen. Please, on the fucking kitchen counter.
Were you guys pretty experimental when you guys had sex prior to Taika? Like, you guys were not very mundane sex people? Like, in terms of just like,
What?
No.
What?
No, I think because like, so I think because he was pretty sheltered in that sex area. Like, there's a lot of stuff that we're still experimenting that he's still kind of learning about. Like,
Ooh, missionary. This sounds interesting.
No. It wasn't like that vanilla, you know?
Yeah.
But like, I think because I had so many like moves that I was down to do that he would like almost bust
Bitch
instantly.
doing a kickboxing match? What the fuck is going on here, dude?
I mean, I have moves, bro. I'll blow
moves,
your
yeah.
fucking mind.
Just
you
that
heard-
Eddie Bravo pussy.
Thank you. That's what I'm talking about.
Have you heard of the pretzel DMT Kimura? Like, what
Yeah.
the fuck is this?
So it was like I had to like reveal all my tips and tricks very slowly.
Are you
'Cause
gonna
then
break him?
well, that or like he's just gonna bust and then we're done. You know, so like, so we're still like we're still working it all out.
Oh my god, the
Hey.
pussy's so good. if I do too fast, he's gonna come too fast.
Okay, Bart, you tell him.
What do you mean? You said everything.
I know. He's making it sound like I'm blowing my own.
What do you mean? What are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about?
I know. God.
Well, I'm gonna bust nuts. What do you mean?
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
You're
You
making me
see,
bust real
it came
fast.
from him, not from me.
Maybe he just bust nuts. You know.
Did you bust nuts easy before me? You fucking liar.
What
Why do
mean?
you want us to break up so bad? This whole podcast,
it-
you've just turned us against each other.
No, I'm just saying. I just like giving you shit.
Yeah.
That's
Right?
so fucking
Did
funny.
I told you one time, right? Like, before we got together, I saw him having sex with another girl.
No, you
Oh,
never,
I
did you
forgot
tell me
about
this?
that. Holy
You
shit.
saw him fucking another girl?
Yeah.
That's a long time
So
ago.
I was with my
Holy-
boyfriend, and then he was seeing some chick, and then we went to the beach late at night, and then like we went separate ways. Like me and my boyfriend were doing our thing, and then I forgot I had to get something in our bags where they were. So I just went back, and I'm like in my underwear, like we're like naked. We weren't planning on going to the beach, so I'm like in my underwear, and I go get it, and like the chick is on top of him, and they're like having sex, and I'm like,
In a-
oh
in a
shit, my
sleeping
bad.
bag.
Oh, it was? I don't
Yeah.
know. And I was like, oh shit. And I'm like, I left. Because I didn't know we were going to be together. So I'm like, yeah, Bart's getting it.
Oh, wow.
Awkward, huh?
Damn, that's
awkward.
crazy. I forgot about that memory.
Whoa.
This has
I'll never
got to
fucking
be like,
forget.
This got to be like 2006 or
Six, yeah.
No,
2007.
you literally saw your husband have sex with another person.
I mean, he saw me be in a relationship with another person, like the whole thing.
That's crazy.
But I did see him. You never saw us do anything?
Never.
Whoa, that's fucking weird, dude.
Weird.
That's trippy.
It
Yeah.
was.
Like-
And I saw the way they were doing it, and I'm like, she whack.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. I didn't know it was like that.
That's what I tell myself so I can get through it, okay?
Okay. You're like, fucking left her a post-it note. Next time, try this.
No, that's what I just tell myself.
Oh my, that's crazy. I don't think I've ever heard anybody going through that. Seeing, that's kind of a brain fuck for me.
It is,
Yeah.
right?
I don't think I could ever. I don't know if I could move past
Well, it's
that.
a different time. So like in my mind, it's just homie Bart.
Oh yeah. That makes sense.
I had no feelings for him, so there was nothing. Like I had no feeling about it other than like, yeah, boy, you know what I mean? Like just like seeing my homie get hooked up with, and I'm like, fuck yeah, my homie's getting serviced.
Wow, and you called it serviced.
You know what I mean?
He's
Like,
getting a service. He's getting his oil changed.
you know? So I was like happy for him, but like looking back at it, it's fucking weird. But
yeah,
like
that's really weird.
Yeah, I don't have a thing with it though. Like I'm just like,
Oh, yeah, I can't believe I forgot about that.
I'll never fucking forget.
Do you
was
remember
it?
her actually like seeing it? Like, oh shit.
I don't think so. Oh, I was having sex, so I don't remember. I think I was focused.
Okay, you're just looking at the titties like, okay, this is what's going on right now.
Yeah.
Nice. This is great.
Yeah.
Hugging
Pretty
Gio's over here.
Yeah, I was like, I'm like, oh shit, my bad. I just like went back.
Crazy.
Probably the weird I've ever seen walking in on somebody have sex was, well, this is kind of weird because
One of your homies have?
no, it was a home girl. We were at a party and these dudes were running a train on her.
Oh,
Wait, what the
shit.
fuck?
And then like a few years later, my friend was like, I want you to meet my fiance. And it was the girl
Oh, damn.
that I saw at the party getting a train ran on her, dude.
What does that look like? Were there just a line of dudes?
They were doing, what do you call it? Spit roasting her ass.
What does
So
that
what is
mean?
that?
Dick in the mouth and some dude hitting it in the back.
You saw that?
It was at a house party.
Oh,
You saw
And
that?
I was like, what the fuck? And she was into it. And I was like, yo. And then we still haven't told him till this day. because of how like in love he is with her, and he's like talking about it like, yo, like yeah, she's like the sweet, because he was with a lot of hood rats before.
Oh,
And so when he was
I
talking
mean, it
about
doesn't
her,
sound like it changed.
that's what I'm saying. So he's like, dude, she's like the sweetest girl. And what he told us, which kind of broke our heart, is like she's actually a virgin.
Oh my God. You have to tell him.
damn.
You
They're
have to
married and they have 2 kids now. So
tell.
you know what I mean? It is what it is. They're happy. I'm not gonna go ahead and bust that bubble.
No, I thought it was like.
But it's like, bro, I legit saw like fucking 3 dudes run a train on her. So it's like, don't know. She was fucking loose though. Like I'm surprised he doesn't fucking know that, because she kind of has a reputation of kind of being that person. But I don't know why he's never ever asked or like connected the two, because it's not like she looks like she's one of those like sweet girls. She looks like an ABG.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I remember when because she and I actually went to the same elementary school, so she knows who I am, right? She goes, "Oh my God, I haven't seen you in so long." I was like, "I know more about you than you actually think I do."
Damn, that's
She had a
crazy.
reputation for fucking around a lot. So, but that's kind of weird. That was like one of those like,
That's weird. Yeah.
and then the homies kind of texted just like, "Yo, you know who he's with, right?" I'm like, "Yeah, dude, what the fuck?" I was like, "He's in love with her." But they're married, they have 2 kids, so
Hey,
is what it is.
it is what
But he
it
thought
is.
she was a fucking virgin when he met her. And I'm
Well,
like,
hopefully the truth all came out and you just didn't know about it.
he's a really sweet guy. I think he's just happy to be with the girl, honestly. If I look, I mean, this is me being presumptuous, but I think she is his like first real serious girlfriend. So for him, she can do no wrong anyways. If we told him what her prior past was, it would wreck his idea of who she is and who he wanted to be with. So whatever secret that they're having, they're happy. We're gonna leave it alone at that. So we never said anything.
Maybe one day she'll break it to him too.
That's what I'm
Once
saying. Maybe
she
he
feels
already
comfortable
knows.
that they're comfortable enough, she'll let him know.
Maybe he already knows.
Maybe I don't. He does not know for sure. 100%. That would wreck him. That boy is brittle as fuck.
Oh, no,
really?
no, no.
Yeah. And so he's, you ever meet somebody who's like, who believes that they're with somebody that they don't deserve? Like he kind of like idolizes her
Oh, no.
a little bit.
Wow.
And that's the type of guy that she needs, though. She wants to feel like she's a princess, that she's put up on this pedestal. So they kind of work out. And I honestly think that they have a great relationship from what I see from an exterior.
Yeah.
But we've never, I mean, why would we tell her? Like sometimes the truth doesn't really help their
No,
relationship
it
at all.
doesn't. And it shouldn't be your place at that point.
Exactly. So we just leave it. I just saw that he's happy.
Yeah.
She's not, like, if she was fucking around with somebody, then I'd be like, hey, by
Yeah.
the way, she's had 36 people inside that pussy.
Oh, my God.
Then I would mention it. But she's been faithful. He's also pretty well off. So,
It works out. Yeah.
she knew that her shit probably had some mileage. And she's like, I need to find a good guy. And she found the sweetest dude.
Yeah.
He just doesn't know about the past. That's all.
Damn.
Damn, I hope he never finds out.
Oh, if he finds out, he's going to give us a call. He's going to be like
Oh my
drunk out of his
God.
mind,
Oh my
pissed, breaking
God.
shit.
Were they from the same neighborhood or same community or same circle of friends? How does he not know? That's crazy.
Well, I can understand because he moved into our area from the Bay to Sacramento when he was like 15. So he doesn't know too much about the people like
I
that.
see,
So
yeah.
his information of what he has about people
Yeah.
is a little bit late. So unless somebody voluntarily told him about who she is, because he met her in college after they both left Sacramento. So they didn't go to the same high school or anything, because she was in a different part of Sac.
I
And so
see,
when
yeah,
they
yeah,
met up
yeah.
in college, I was like, oh, they went to the same college together, but they're both from the same hometown. And then, but we know about her past, like legit past.
Oh, my gosh.
And it wasn't even like that few and far between. It was like a high school party when she was like 17.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, because we would have these house parties and we would see
Yeah, yeah.
stuff, and girls who were hoeing around, they would hoe around, they would
Yeah.
like fucking give people head or whatnot.
Yeah.
She was notorious. So I literally remember I walked up and we kind of peek into a door and we see this girl getting a train ran on her, and we're like, oh shit, that's pretty tight. And then as a young person, right, like, yo, that's fucking dope. And we walk away and I'm
Yeah.
like, what the fuck? That's her.
He really
That's
likes
wild.
the taste of penis, I guess.
I guess she was
That's
a freak. It's one of those girls too. Remember I was talking about those like hyper Catholic girls?
Yeah.
So she was
Oh.
trying to do the antithesis of what her parents want out of her.
Yeah.
And I think for him, I don't know this exactly, but I'm pretty sure he knows that her parents are missionaries. So she's like this holier than thou girl, but she really isn't.
It's almost like the daughter version of a pastor's kid.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So like I'm not sure if you've ever been around these type of girls that were like super hyper
You
religious.
better not be.
Let me hear.
But they were like these their families were super hyper religious, so they would do the exact opposite. And these like girls who never grew up in the hood, never had ghetto friends, but would always fuck gangbangers and date like thugs.
Oh, yeah.
She was one of those girls.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's some shit.
I'm telling you.
I mean, hey, kudos to all those chicks that got it in though, because then it's like you know what you like, you know what you don't like. So
Hey, she nabbed somebody good. He's balling.
You see, because she got enough dick to know which one's worth it and which one's not.
I don't even know. I'm pretty sure.
I fucked up.
What are you talking about? right here, this guy right here, man.
I know, but I needed someone that was balling, you know.
Owner of Barbell Brigade.
Hey, you fucking
The
take
single owner of it.
The single owner of Barbell Brigade.
Oh, you want to have a bad night, huh?
You want to you want to have a bad night, huh? Yeah, we'll have sex tonight. I swear.
Watch, I'm gonna bust out all those moves.
I do it.
I do it. Watch
wait, I'm losing.
Bet I'm gonna fall asleep when you do it anyways. It don't matter. Bop, bop.
I know. I'm like, fuck. It didn't work out how I thought it would.
Well, guys, that wraps up this episode of the Genius Brain Podcast. We got the keep that now.
What is it called? The Schneider?
Snyders.
Yeah,
I think it's called. I honestly don't even know. I think it's Snyders, right? Snyders honey mustard petrels. Honey mustard
there you go.
petrels. Delicious.
We got Wuhan Quan and Snyders Pussy Geo here.
Oh my god.
You can follow them on all of their handles. You can wait. Is your actual Geo? Is it Geo Antoinette?
Geo_Antoinette.
Geo_Antoinette,
Everything.
and then just straight Bart Quan.
Bart Quan.
That's it. Just the one and only.
There's no other Chinese person named Bart ever in this world.
Nope.
Not true.
Not even Bartholomew. It's Barton.
Yeah.
Barton.
Well,
Bart Quan.
Genius Brain every Thursdays and Sundays, and we will see you all next time, baby. Peace.